Well, okay then. I think I'm going to have to turn up that just a tiny bit. That just a tiny bit. That just a tiny bit. Okay, let's see how that works. Good afternoon. This is the Daily Ack, and we're playing Planet Crafter Intense. And this is an unexpected live stream. I've still got that. Let me make sure that I have that one populated. It's got 3 in it. Go back in here to my fuse locker and deposit that. I have to say, I've played this game a lot, and that's the first time I've ever got 3 trade rocket multiplier fuses. Let's do that. Now I don't have a fusion cell, and it would seem to me as many of those as I built, I would remember that recipe. And one other thing to check. Okay. Alrighty then. Where was I going? Besides crazy. I've got 2 flares. Let's get 3 just for the heck of it. I would love to know what's got my throat. A little bit screwy, but here we are. Go straight up the waterfall, and we can. We have frogs. Woohoo! that, take that, take that. All the rest of it I really don't need. All the rest of it can stay. Was this trip really necessary? So I know I've been here. Oh, no sound. That ain't good. Ooh. No sound. Um, well, it says that I'm getting sound. Oh, come on. Can you hear me now? Well, oh. It's a little better. Okay. Mm-hmm. Can you hear my voice? Yes, no. Maybe so. Hmm. That's on that. Well, phooey. Yes, I can hear. Okay, excellent. Woohoo. But now the question is, can you hear me over me flying in the game? Because if you can't hear me over the game, it's not worth doing until I figure it out. Okay, excellent. I'm going to continue on unless you tell me it's not good. Darlene, it's good to see you. Thank you for being here. Appreciate the help. More than you know. All right, back to what we were doing. Excellent. Now, I'm going to make sure I've cleaned all the good stuff out in this wreck, and then we're going on to something else. Well, nope, not like that you're not. Like I told you the other night, you provide a valuable service. It's tough to do this when nobody's listening. All right, I know that darn ship was around here summers. I hope you're having a good day, and I hope you're not in pain. Now, let me see. There is the reactor, and I've already got a fusion cell in it. Yes, I do. And while I was back home, I should have dropped all this other stuff off, but here we are. That haul ain't worth coming down again, because I've come down it a bunch. Well, that's where I've been. Tell me, what kind of games do you like? Because I don't know that I've really ever seen you voice a preference. I don't need any of that. I can always take that. I watch all kinds of games. Well, nothing wrong with being open-minded and having wide and varied interest. I think my favorite games, when I was growing up, it was kind of the things I've been playing. Doom. I also considered playing Wolfenstein. And some things like that. I also liked Quake, and I almost played Quake here on the channel. But in Quake, it's very much like Doom. But in Quake, there's also guard dogs, and you have to shoot the guard dogs. And since my misspent youth, I have become a dog lover. And although I understand the premise of the story, I'm just not going to, not going to play a game purposely where I have to shoot a dog. It isn't something I would enjoy. And I've already been back through here because I know what's back in there. I think this fishing hole is fished out. So we're going to go find another one. All right. Well, I appreciate you dropping in and watching my little smattering of stuff. I'm not near as polished as other people, and I do it for the fun of it. Says I got 2 concurrent views and 4 views. Makes me wonder if somebody's lurking. And that's okay. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that and that and that. And I'm going to give that back and that back until I figure out just what in the world I'm doing next. I would love to get to about 4.5 TTI. It'd probably tickle me to no great end. Yep, no more blueprints. Now, I need to go up. We're storming. I made that and never made a second one. So that's a good thing to do, because I know where I want to go with it. Whew. Now, that is a purple sky. I can make that out of all my own stuff. Oh. I'm going to go over here. Turn that off. I've got the stuff to do that, but where I'm going, I might even be able to do a few other things while I'm out. What I'm going to do is go over here to the Rainbow Cave and get some more pulsar quartz, because I'm about out. And I figure while I'm there, I'll put a transporter out there, and everything will be good. And I don't want to drive through any of this because, oh my gosh. I believe on this playthrough I haven't been back to here yet. Take that. All the rest of it is not hardly worth it right at the moment. Now, I really like this game when you get to a point that you can be choosy about what you're picking up and you're building most of it. You're not grinding quite so hard. That's going out that way. And that's going that way. But I still want a whole bunch of pulsar quartz. Well, and that's other kinds of quartz, and I don't need that. I'm always so scared that I'm going to go around in circles and look like a total idiot. Well, that was 2 for 1. That's not going to let me do anything with that, but there's still one right there. I just figured that if Dreas wasn't live streaming at 2 o'clock, that I would do a little, since I didn't this morning. I don't usually live stream on mornings that I go to acupuncture. So alright, what am I doing? I'm going to go out here and call the vehicle back. And there it is. And I'm going to go back where I was at, because I think there's a procedural wreck that I can get on. Alright. Well, I don't know which direction I'm going, but I'm going no matter what. Alright. I really think the reason why I was having sound problems is I've gotten a new headset, and I had made some changes to it right before I turned everything on, and it's obvious that I need to leave it the heck alone. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I have been here. Yes, I have. Well, let's take one cursory look. Yep. I've already been there. Okay. Take that too, because that little thing is hard to get at. Don't come open, and neither does that. Let's go see if we can find something else. Oh, I took the vehicle back home, you dummy. Then I turned around and I'm looking for it out here. That's going back that way. Seem to be having a hard time with my bearings about where I'm at in game. After I get done here, I'm probably going to sit down and watch what Amp was playing this morning, because that is a really fun game. I was a little surprised that I thought it was as fun as it was. Oh, let's not do that. Yeah, it not only was it good, the little bit that I've played with them, it was extreme amounts of fun. I was having never played Fortnite. Oh boy, I'm gonna need more explosives. Wow. Okay. Thankfully, I do have more explosives back at the base. Took it. Don't drink while flying. Good grief, I about crashed into the sand there. Took a drink of my Sprite. Whew. I think after I pick up all the rest of the explosives, I'm going to take the vehicle and we're going to go back that way. Just for the fun of it. last time we had Planet Crafter on the community stream after the rover came out was, good grief, extremely funny. Where they were driving up that ramp. Hi, I didn't know you were on. I was picking up groceries. Well, it's good to see you. And I didn't know I was going to be on until Dreas said he wasn't doing anything today at 2. So I didn't do anything this morning, and I decided in my infinite wisdom to have a live stream. We went grocery shopping too today. I'm just running around blowing stuff up. Cool, I was going to be lonely without my gang. Kind of why I decided to pick up a little bit of slack. Because, you know, I know people get into doing things. I've got to have 5 keys. 5 of them. Well, all right, I've blown everything up, and now I think that fishing hole's going to be fished out. Shaman, I almost did the last half of the floor on Doom I was having problems with, so I could start out on a different level tomorrow morning. And after I thought about it, I just went, you want to get this Planet Crafter thing done, play Planet Crafter. And so here we are. I have to say, I feel somewhat more awake right at the moment. Oh, than I do at 8 a.m. Central Time, but no, I wouldn't take anybody else's slot, which is why I live stream at 8 a.m. Plus, I'm an early bird. You know, I figure if I get up and do it, if anybody watches, that's great. If they don't, that's okay too. Still concerns me that there's no way to shut the engine off on that vehicle. Well, it'll be there when I get back. I've got to go see how many keys and other stuff that I have. I need to take those, and I'm going to take those. Eating's important. That's all the rods there are. And it's funny, you say that anything I play is okay by you, but I've actually seen people, you know, get downright just nasty and go, why aren't you playing such and such? And you know, not with me, but with other content creators, and it's just like, hey, my channel, you know. But, you know, that's okay. They are entitled to their opinion, but, and I'm entitled to doing what I want as long as my name's on it. And if you just heard me pop that can, that was not a beer, that was a Sprite. My guts stopped letting me drink beer a long time ago, and then I also decided that it wasn't, you know, it wasn't for me. There was one place that I did not check that I should have checked, but I didn't check. There's one key there. And since I've already been down that, and I need 5 keys, that's 2 green, 4 pink, 2 purple, and a blue. 2 purple. See if I can find 5 keys. So I can go in Iklas's last cave. Okay. And through the portal we go. Oh. Well, was this trip really necessary? Try to move away from the portal and go right back through it. That took talent. Oh, I've been to this world before. It's a pain in the butt, but that's okay. I picked a hard one for a reason. I don't know whether you all follow this game. Could you please speak louder? Well, let me see if I can crank this back just a tiny bit. When we first came in, Darlene couldn't hear me, and my mic is turned all the way up. Yeah, mic is on. Currently in use. Speech configuration, okay. I hate to say right at this moment, I'm doing the best I can do, but keep listening. No, this game has a DLC coming out for it, and this cavern looks a whole lot like the new downloadable content. Now, if I can just find the ship, we will be in the chips. Okay. You're not going to let me go that way. Well, that's... Hey, look. There's a ship. I almost wish I'd have placed that a little farther out here, but here we are. Boy, that's the most of those I've ever seen. I've never had a bunch of them, but in this game I've got 5 now. Gosh, I'm going to fill up just on loot boxes. I really want to find some keys. I tend to try to follow the left-hand rule when I go through these things. Follow the wall to the left all the time. Shaman, I told Garlene I was messing with these new headsets that I have, and then all of a sudden things weren't working as good as they were, so I could have screwed stuff up. I've been in that. Let me think. I don't have a fusion cell. No, I do have a fusion cell. Excellent. Thought I had forgotten it. And down the stairs we go again. I must be living right. Oh my, having the lights on makes these things so much easier. Or at least they feel easier. And plus, you're not live streaming a bunch of stuff that's in the dark. That is going right back over there. Is that where I came in at? No, that is not. I get the feeling this is a big one. Well, let's go up and down the stairs a million different times. And I've already been here. Well, let's just go do something else. Pretty good trick to walk out from behind the rock. I think. Let us look around and see where I'm over there somewhere with all that. Let me go in here and see that I've got that demanding keys and flares. Well, we're at 388. And I'm beginning to think it's time to go put some more rockets up. Whoa, almost walked off the side there. See if I can put a couple of those in the sky. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That leaves me one if I want to do something. One of those. One of those. I've got one of those. I've got one of those. You still need fertilizer there. And away we go. Thankfully, they'll vanish here in just a second. Ugh, that storm is so bad. 70%. Wasn't trying to dive into the water, but I did. Okay. I'm a little surprised that my animals aren't going up quicker since I just put up an animal rocket. Yeah, 5,200% on animals. 17,000% on asteroids, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I have to say, wish I could make keys. And the answer is no. We're coming up on the 52-minute mark. I need explosives if I'm going back there. I think, therefore I am. If we can get to 4 TTI, probably be pretty happy with myself. If we could get to 5, I'd be even happier, but nope. Well, foot. Don't really need any of those. Nope. Now you're going through the rock again. Well, okay. Well, that wasn't a bad crate. I've been down there. And I'm going back again. Come on, you gotta let me go up the cliff. Good grief. Well, I know there's a ship around here somewheres. Well, foot. Ooh, that was a noisy mess. I have probably been where I'm flying, but I play so much of this game, maybe I don't remember everything I think I do know. Well, I've been in here now. Did I get all the good stuff? So far, the answer is yes. I don't think it's going to let me build anything in here. Let the drones sort all that stuff out. That way I'll have room in my inventory. Yes, I dropped that there. I'm certain of it. Looks like something my messy self would do. I have to say, I've always admired people who were organized because that's not something I've ever been. Used to drive my supervisors in the military a little nuts, but I am what I am. Well, so over the river and through the woods I'm not going to grandma's, but you know, sometimes you just gotta. Yeah, I've been here and taken all the keys and got all the good stuff. Been in there. Been in there. I've even been in there. Don't really want that. Do want that. I've got to find myself how to get the heck back out of here. Well, but and as potato, you're kind of sweet. Oh, that's loaded crap. I'm a grumpy. I'm pretty grumpy most of the time. I appreciate that though. Well, shiitake. And yes, I know that's one of Amp's words, but it's a good one. Well, there's only one way to get out of this without finding the door. And there we are. You am what you am. Absolutely. One of my best friends one time told me that was the one thing about you that when we first met that tickled me was you always were quoting Popeye. I am what I am, and that's all that I am. I used to say something to the effect of being in the Navy's not so special. Get to go out with all these skinny women. Well, you don't say that around a bunch of Navy swabs. It ain't good. Uh, 5 views, 2 people in chat. There are people coming to take a look, but not stopping in. This is not good. Or this is good. I mean, where am I putting my molars at now? Not there. That place is full up. Let's go take a drink. I have to say, come on. I wish I could play the DLC out in the open. A fantastic landscape in that. And you're leaving because you're full. Well, no, I have to admit I'm pretty pleased at, you know, run this on a shoestring budget, and people come to watch. Taking your life in your hands, I bet. Although if one says, "Does this uniform make my butt look thin?" then you might be in trouble. Well, and that's true. Oh my, the stupid stuff we used to do when I was in the Air Force. I gotta say, were I given the chance tomorrow, if I felt like I did when I was 25, I'd probably go back. It was a great amount of fun. On top of the fact that, I have a family history of serving my country. Both of my grandfathers served. My dad served. I served. My son's serving right at the moment, and I couldn't be more pleased about that. I've put up rockets. I've got everything under the sun going as far as we can go here. And I keep getting closer every game. Let me do a few of those and one more of those if I've got. Hey, looky there. I got 2 of those. I've shut something off someplace because I should have iridium coming in here like crazy. Let me see. No iridium there. No iridium there. So I need 9 pieces of iridium. Well, Shaman, I was in during the era of don't ask, don't tell. I didn't want to know. However, am glad they repealed that. I thought that was, pretty dumb in and of itself. Looks like this fishing hole is all fished out. Nope. It's honorable heritage. Most of my family has served as well in 2 countries. What other country, if I may ask? And if you don't feel like telling me, I understand that too. Five, 6. Oh, come on. Not in the hole. 7. 8. 9. Gosh, I should have put the miner up here. That's a tier 3. The man I'm named after was my mother's dad, and his name was John Muncie, and he served in the Spanish-American War in the Philippines, and he was on Cuba. I actually have copies of his discharge papers and a few other things. That's 8, that's 9. Went to my aunt's house one time and got to look through all of her stuff. I even got copies of their family Bible where they wrote down where all the kids were born, and my mom had to go and use that to get a passport when her and my dad went to France in the 50s. Denmark. I'm only 3rd generation American on Dad's side. Mom's side goes back to the Revolution. My mother's side, my mother was a farm girl. She came from way back in East Tennessee, in a little place called Tazewell. They eventually built another town beside it, called it New Tazewell. And, buddy, you want to talk about the side of a mountain? Wow. They didn't play. You know, she was schooled and everything. I've seen my mother's high school books. They got to take their books home. You know, it was, I think my mom graduated in 1950, and my dad would have been some after that. There was about 3 years between them. I could have swore that I got, well, we'll let all that happen and go. I need 2 of those, so yeah. My dad's dad left my grandmother and went and served in World War II, and when I met my first wife's dad, he looked at me and he said, "Do you know Alon Massengill?" I said, "Know him, he's my grandfather." He said, "Well, they used to work together making automotive thermostats in Knoxville." And he was the only person that I'd ever met that knew my grandfather, because he left Knoxville, moved to Virginia, and died before I ever really knew anything about him. Didn't mean to press that button, but here we are. There's a fella I follow on YouTube that is Danish called KJ's Off-Road. That's cool that he knew your granddad. Did he tell you stories? No, not much. All he said was, "I remember Mr. Massengill, and when the war came along, he left where we were working, which was Robert Shaw Fulton Siphon Company, and said, I never heard anything else from him." He said, "Do you know anything about him after that?" "Oh, yeah. Left his wife and his 5 kids, got a divorce, told the Army that he didn't have any dependents. He was a piece of work." Yeah, he was something. Oh, that's a mineral storm, and I don't need any of it. Yeah, according to my grandmother, he came back a number of times and tried to get her back, and she told him no. She pretty much had enough of him. But now I got to admit, whether or not my granny was telling the truth or not, it was, she could be pretty out of her head at some moments. Yeah, she had a stroke before she died, and last time I saw her was 1995 or early 96, and She couldn't talk, but she knew who I was, and we sat there and talked and held hands in her living room. I miss Granny Massengill. She was. Now, I'm not going to tell you she wasn't nuts, because she was nuts. She was, you know, she would get us up in her arms and tell us she loved us, and Mama's mama wouldn't have nothing to do with us. She didn't like my dad, and we were Malt Massengill's kids, and she pretty much let us know about it every step we took. She was something. All right, I'm at 1 hour and 16 here. I'm over 4 TTI, which was where I wanted to be. And therefore, I'm going to stop here. And I'm probably going to play this again on Friday. And I'm going to play Doom tomorrow morning to get through a few more levels on it. But that's where we're at. And that's what we're doing. Or that's what I'm doing now. But, gosh, I was scrambling for... I tell you what, there are days, brains with dynamite, I wouldn't have enough to blow my nose. Neither side of my family was good at paying attention to family history. I inherited a bunch of old family photos no one can identify yet. And when we go through my mom's stuff, there's going to be stuff. I've seen pictures of where they went to France. Mom and Dad came back with French stuff and, you know, from Europe, and had a radio growing up. It was a big console radio with a record player that had shortwave on it, and we used to listen to shortwave. This was during the 70s that you could hear wars going on. It was crazy. All right, I'm done for the moment, and everything. I'm glad you both could join me. It was fun. I hope it was entertaining. Let's put it that way. But I'm going to leave this here, and I'll pick it up, like I said, Friday morning. I'm going to pick up Doom tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. or earlier, and I'm usually earlier. But that's where we're going to leave it.